Okay, folks, here's part 2 of the gear check for Everest spring of 16. Here's the pack, same one I had last year, the MH South Call 70 liters. I like it a lot because it's waterproof. The only thing I've modified is to add a camera case to the sternum strap to make it easy to grab the camera. Trusty old BD Raven Pro 70 centimeters, and I've got a little bit of maybe 1 or 2 mil thick foam on the top with some duct tape to keep the conductive cold off my hands. I've always been in these BD trekking poles, and this one, same as last time, I've pimped out a little bit to include a universal mount for the GoPro so that I can use my motion stabilizing gimbal when I'm on the move. Here's my crampons, just the Petzl Vasics with the long linker bars to accommodate my size 45 Olympus Mons. These are the lever lock. I do not recommend the flex lock, which is their version of the contact. It just doesn't make sense. You're going to have to cinch down so hard to make sure you have a good purchase that you'll end up, even on the Olympus Mons, eventually you're going to end up decreasing the amount of circulation to the foot. They invented levers for a reason. Use them. That's the thing to get. Just a crampon bag to get things up the hill safely without going through the wall of the duffel. The helmet, I'm in a new Petzl Meteor 3 this year. The other one got a little bit cracked and twisted on the ride home, but it's basically the same helmet. And like before, I've also added a universal GoPro mount to the front. Here's the same harness I had last time, the BD Momentum. It suits me perfectly fine. I've got my harness system, the same Petzl Ascender that I've used before, the requisite number of snaps, some half-inch nylon slings, some of the Dyneema as well. You're not going to take a dynamic fall. It's just about making sure you're securely hooked up to the fixed ropes. And some lockers, the pair lockers, a little Leatherman Skeletool, a little bit of extra 8mm cord. All the safety cord is 8mm, not 7mm. That's the way they like it, which is fine. Here's my Avi beacon, the BCA Tracker 2, which is a little bit faster to pick up and send a signal. It's got fresh alkaline batteries, and here's some nice new alkaline batteries I can put in halfway through. The Mega Warmer grabbers, there's a dozen of these. You wouldn't think they would work well above EBC, and maybe they don't, but I'm told that if you put these into the oxygen mask and crank it above Camp 3, you can actually start the chain reaction, and somehow it sustains itself. So we'll try that as an option. Light systems, I have 3 lights, 3 dedicated lights. This little Hozuki lantern, which is an LED lantern, takes 3 AAAs, and it's just nice to have a little bit of light in the tent in the evening time as I fall asleep. Here's my up-high climbing dedicated headlamp, the 2015 edition of the Petzl Mayo, and then my Petzl Tika, which is backup and also just for use around camp and such and in the tent. Eye systems, starting here, we've got just a pair of native sunglasses, which have both a low light and also a bright light lens that can snap out, and a Bico and a strap that goes on that. These are my Julbos with side guards built on there, also with a Bico and also with a strap. And then I have 2 great sets of goggles, both from Z Goggles. They're sponsoring me again this year, which is great. This is a photochromic goggle, so I can start with it at nighttime. It's totally clear. When the sunrise comes up, I'll get about 20% light blockage. And of course, when we're actually climbing in the day, I've got, I think about 5% VLT with a mirrored surface on the outside. So I have something identical to this at Camp 2, I hope. I just can't count on it being there, so they have replaced it for me, which is really nice. Electronic systems. So up here, this is the carrying case for the thing that's in my hand, which is a motion stabilizing gimbal. I had been in a Feiyu G3 last year. It broke above Camp 1. I think the altitude was too thin and the motors burned out, so I have replaced it with a thing in my hand, which is by Zhiyun. And it's okay. It has some issues. The best thing about it is that it does charge the camera while I'm using it, which is helpful. And this is it takes these funky huge batteries. That's the battery recharger right there. Other batteries to charge, these are the extra 2 sets, so I have a total of 3 for each glove of those outdoor research Lucent gloves as well. We'll come back to other batteries in just a second. Camera-wise, this is my camera. I have a still camera, which is this Sony Alpha 5100. I have both a Tamron telephoto lens and also the kit lens that originally came with. I'll switch to the kit lens when we get above Camp 3 just to save weight. The rest of the time I'll be in the telephoto. And an extra lens cap for each, of course, and about 3 extra batteries there too. And then there's the GoPro Black, which is what I'm filming with right now, so I can't show it to you. This is all my GoPro stuff, so there's a head strap here, so that if I'm not in the helmet, I can still use this to get a point of view. This is the little neoprene bag I'll take the camera in, that's how small it is, and 3 extra little batteries that go in there. Inside here, extra GoPro widgets and dongles and things, and about 1 terabyte of extra storage for memory I can dump my cards to by USB 3 thumb drives. I probably have 6 64 gigabyte SanDisk Extreme Pro micro USB or micro flash drives. That's what I recommend. They've never frozen on me or given me any trouble, and they do write 4K, raw 4K video very, very quickly. Some extra charging cables, including recharger for some of the GoPro batteries, etc. Other battery stuff back here. This is my Hotronic foot warmers, the 2 batteries, the jumper cables that'll get the batteries up onto my torso instead of keeping them on my feet, and the charging stuff for that. Here's my Goal Zero Nomad 13 and the Guide 10, which is basically a battery charger. Both AA and AAA batteries for that. And of course you can use that if you have to as a flashlight in emergencies. These are the batteries I'm going to rely on. Same thing I had last time, 22,400 milliamp hour rechargeable batteries that'll drive everything I have. My whole kit can be charged off of this, except for my laptop, the MacBook Pro Retina, which I still need to get something more powerful than just these guys. I'll have a few extra lithium batteries. I like the 9X super extended wear on these. These will power, for example, my headlamp on Summit Day and above, and just in case I have trouble with the Guide 10, I can still fall back on some of these. This is a Bondic device, which is a liquid plastic welder. Everything at EBC is made of plastic. The plastic is always getting brittle, fragile, breaking, so I'm hopeful that we can do some simple repairs. For example, if something breaks, we could wrap it with some synthetic dental floss, put this on top of it, and then finish it off with duct tape. We should be able to get good repairs if we need it. Back here, communications. So here's my Garmin Fenix 2, the same thing I had last time with GPS tracking, so I can always find my way back to camp even if things get hairy. This year I decided to bring my heart rate monitor. Thought it'd be fun to track both of those at the same time. Pulse oximeter, which is rarely useful, frankly. It doesn't necessarily give you good information, but people are always curious to see how they're doing, so I'll bring that this year as well. Over here, this is my satellite tracker, the DeLorme InReach, so I can give and receive text messages through that, and people can track me in real time. Luggage scale, so I can make sure that I can get my stuff on and off the airplane or the helicopter based on their weight limits. Down here is the MacBook Pro Retina, same thing I had last time. I need to purge the memory, back everything up, and then wipe it clean. It has 0.5 terabyte of memory, so I can hopefully have at least 2, if not 3 copies of every photo and every video that I take up there. My noise-canceling headphones, that's just for the airplane ride, of course, and then when I'm up there, I'll be in my good old B&O earbuds that I've had since, about the year 2000. They're still serving me pretty well, which is kind of amazing. Recharging for the MacBook off a DC converter. All of our solar power at EBC, and also, frankly, from the generators comes out as DC. So if I plug this in, it goes DC to DC. You don't have to waste going up to AC and then back down. And I like this one because it's also got a USB charger on there as well. If I have to, for example, in the tea houses, I also have my AC adapter here. This is a Bluetooth-powered waterproof speaker, so we can watch movies and listen to music and stuff in the tent. It's not as good a quality of sound as you might get with some others. This is called EcoX Gear. It's not a great speaker, but it is waterproof, and it's super duper tough and rubberized, so it should do well up there. This is a Kindle Voyage. I need to put a few extra novels on there. Maybe my lovely wife will help me choose something to put on there before I go. My wallet, travel documents, cash, etc. go in here. Meds, sanitation, etc. So I have 2 identical sort of toilet kits, each with a roll of toilet paper and 60 dehydrated, unscented baby wipes. You can moisten them with water or, like I do, with Purell to clean up. You could actually get away with 1 of those per day if you start at the top and move down to get an entire body shower or cleanup if you have to. So here we go, meds. I won't go through the whole med kit, but basically this is exactly what IMG has recommended. If we stick with the recommended meds, you're always perfectly fine. In addition, I've added a few other things because as a doctor, people sometimes ask for help with simple stuff, skin care, wound care, respiratory infections, GI stuff, etc. So I'm happy to bring some extra stuff. And over here, just personal care items, a lot of sunscreen, some shampoo, toothpaste, you name it. This is a piece of tubing given to me by my physical therapist, and sounds crazy, but I'm going to bring this to EBC and set up a little workout area. I've never heard of anybody actually trying to pump iron or work out their arms at EBC. It sounds crazy. You're exhausted every minute of the day. The hope is that if we can work out our arms, we might actually delay or reduce the rate of muscle loss in the upper body. Otherwise, you just feast on your muscle up there, and when you need it going through the icefall, it's just painful. So it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. Hydration and nutrition. Here's my hydration system. It's just a variety of bottles, most of them for water, some of them for urine. This is something that's new this year, a blender bottle. It's just a watertight bottle with a little whisk inside. And if I fill that with water and then put in some powdered egg whites and shake it up, I can get a little protein shake. Each scoop of the egg whites is like 1 egg, so it's just a way to try to keep protein on board. The other new feature are these cool little 450cc Nalgene's. On Summit Day, and actually above Camp 3, the idea is that 1 of these goes in each chest pocket on the inside, and that way you've got a liter that's ready to go before it freezes, and then you can fall back on, the hydro flask, which never, ever freezes, at least not in my experience, even on Mount Vinson. Some bottle jackets are here as well, of course. If we decide to have water that's not boiled for whatever reason, I can use my UV sterilizer. The SteriPen is great, totally reliable, and I brought an extra set of batteries just in case. Extra food is here. This is about 10 or 12 pounds of food. It's mostly beef jerky, buffalo jerky, and some roasted almonds, and some nut butter, and a whole lot of goos and gels, and Power Blast, and stuff like that. Things I know I can eat, even if things are going poorly. The other new feature this year, 4 pounds of aged smoked Gouda cheese, which isn't in here, it's still in the fridge. But I'm going to try to get Gouda up there because cheese is always good, and it's hard to get smoked Gouda up on EBC. Like we talked about egg white protein, this is a mug, and my fair share mug. I forgot until a few minutes ago that I left my mug and my smaller drinking cup up at Camp 2. Somehow I forgot to put that on my log. I was looking for them. They're not here. So I had to quickly scrabble this together. I'll pick up a cup when I get to Kathmandu. And, titanium spork. We only use this stuff basically at Camp 1, Camp 3, and Camp 4. Not much. Sleep systems. What we've got is a Ridge Rest Solar. Very, very warm with Mylar on one side. That's my solid foam core. And then over here is another new feature. Pretty thick when it's inflated, 2.5-inch thick. REI mattress, air mattress, self-inflating. The mattresses that we get through IMG are perfectly fine. You're definitely going to be warm enough. In fact, they're nice. The pads cover the entire inside of the tent. I weigh 180 pounds, and I need something with a little bit more cushion. So this year I'm bringing this just for up to EBC and not above. Above EBC, I would normally wear or bring my solid core and then also my lightweight air mattress, but that too is sitting at Camp 2, and so a friend of mine, Ken, has given me his X-Ped, which is a little bit heavier than I would normally bring up high, but it's very comfortable. It's appreciated that he lent that to me. It saves me a little money not having to replace it. Travel pillow, which is mostly for the airplane, but I'll bring it up as well. I like to have a pillow under my knees when I sleep. And then some extra pads. This is for sitting on in the snow at Camp 1, for example. I like to spread out my electronics on this little pad here, which we can put in the tent as well. A pillowcase, I've never taken a pillowcase up before, but it's super important to get plenty of rest, and I can stuff dirty laundry and stuff in there to make a pillow out of too. Oh, this isn't sleep system. These are just some prayer scarves that I got last year. I've taken them home, and I'm eager to take them back and take them to the summit. Now, the other key feature when it comes to sleep systems is what do you sleep in? So, sleeping bags, there's the negative 25 degree Feathered Friends bag, which we'll use on the trek in and above EBC. And then in base camp, I'm going to be in this negative 40 bag, same thing I took to Mount Vinson. So I have a heavier bag at base camp, a lighter bag above, because when we go above, I'm going to be in my down suit as well. Basically always wearing a sleeping bag as I walk around. Another thing I'm thinking about is this super duper lightweight Feathered Friends Nano Swallow. It's basically just a little thin eiderdown. And I found that when I finally took the black bag above EBC and I was just in the negative 40, I was still cold. A little bit. Not super cold, but a little bit cold. And I like having one blanket to lay even on top of that. It's an incredibly cold base camp, colder than anything I've been in before. So that's pretty much how it's supposed to go. And to keep things organized, I've got maybe a dozen stuff sacks of different flavors, sizes, textures, just to stay on track. And then I'm really lucky to have some great friends. So one of my friends, Ellen, has done a fundraiser and has gotten some companies to donate some brand new gear here. It looks like a, what do we got here? A BD backpack of some kind, a Marmot soft shell, another Marmot soft shell. And she's asked me to find some folks who might benefit from this and get it to them, so I'm happy to do that. And then another friend of mine, Dr. Trina Seligman, has so generously given me this whole box filled with children's writing implements, crayons, pencils, pens. It's pretty amazing, and I just need to figure out how much of this I can take with me. If I can get to the school at Kumjung, it would be a perfect fit. So we'll try. All of this, everything I've showed you, has to fit into 3 duffels. They're each over 100 liters, so it should be fine. Last year I took 2 duffels. This year I'm going to split one of those duffels with 2 other teammates. So that's the plan. We're less than 24 hours from the flight taking off, and I'll try to post some more from the expedition. Thanks.